You have a huge fight coming up with Chris Weidman on February 13th, UFC 258.
Yeah.
That's a big fight. What's your take on that fight as far as where you think Chris Weidman is now? Obviously, he's coming off a win, I think, but he's had a few losses there. So do you see him as a lesser version that may not show up as his prime, or do you think he's a hungry guy trying to come back and he's going to try to use this fight to come back? And is there any effect of your early fight with him? This is a rematch, most people know, but from like 11 years ago, is there any effect of that at all, or is that just completely kind of out the window now?
I mean, it was a chapter in my life. I was the guy to beat, just like Anderson Silva. He beat me. I got in my head because, I wish I could remember his name. This douchebag just kept saying, oh, he's a great wrestler. Yeah. And back then I was just knocking everybody out because I didn't care. And it just got in my head. And I remember going in a fight and I was worried about his wrestling, which I stuffed. And it happens, it took me a while to watch that video. It was an era. He got in my life to beat me, to get to where he is, to teach me something, to bring me to it's crazy. That's how life works. So looking back, it was a lesson that I needed. I went to a lot of wrestling schools to get that fear out of my head of wrestlers, because I'm like, dude, I'm a striker. Fighting is about striking, but MMA is dynamic. You never know what's going to happen. So, I don't want to be hugged forever. I want to punch you in the face. I like the articulateness behind it. Right. Unfortunately, some people like the hug. So looking at him now, he's probably not as hungry. It's probably his paycheck. Maybe he's utilizing this. He's probably saying, you know what, if I win, good. If I lose, I can probably take this leverage and go somewhere else and get paid more. You never know. We've seen his last fight. Some people say he doesn't look the same. Who knows? He probably could have been recovering from something and it hindered his performance. So I really don't know. But I expect the best to show up because I'm going to show up. And, I had COVID. I mean, I had to crawl out of hell. I'm still kind of crawling. So yeah. That's the coolness about the fight, man. It's that adversity. I'm ready to die. Like, I've heard the phrase before about dying, and I'm like, shit, I'm actually ready to die. Yeah. And I tell the referee every time they come backstage and they give over the rules, I said, listen,
don't stop.
Let me go out. Yeah, just let me go out. Let me
That's so
tap.
Funny.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I was the same way as you, brother. I always told the ref, I said, don't stop this fucking fight. I've trained too hard. I will go out on my shield. Do not stop this fight.
Exactly, man. It's like, bro, you can't take my fucking future away from me. Like, what the fuck? There's fights that I've lost where I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah, it's got to be a shitty feeling.
Whatever. They're looking out for our safety. And, guys are like, they're looking out for our safety and we don't want to have that. I'm like, fuck that. I stepped in this octagon with the intention of I'm going to kill you or be killed. Like, that's the whole point of being a fucking warrior. Like, are you kidding me? But it is what it is.
How does it feel? Well, how did this fight happen? Like, how did this get scheduled with you and Chris Weidman again? And then I know he's ranked a little bit. You jumped in the top 10 after beating Anderson. Not only looking at rankings alone, but you're on a 3-fight win streak now. So there's a lot of variables that go in. Ranking isn't everything. So, I mean, you can still jump ahead quite a bit with a win over Chris Weidman, even though he's ranked a little bit behind you. But how did this whole fight transpire? Did you just get offered the fight, or was it something that you guys both kind of agreed on the internet or something, or how did this whole thing happen and get signed?
Well, look what you said, rankings and everything. I'm still trying to figure out how the fuck Darren Till got up there. I'm like, what the fuck? How did you lose and skip and go up? I just want to meet these people and be like, who taught you guys ranking? I just stopped believing it and looking at it. It's politics. Unfortunately, it's something we have to go through to get to where we have to. Yeah. But I don't know who's in charge of these fucking ranking systems. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. You mean to tell me a bunch of motherfuckers sit in a room and be like, oh, we here think you're number 5. Yeah. We here think you're number 9. Like, what? And I don't even know them. It's kind of like the government with taxes. I don't know where my fucking money is going. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. But this fight got scheduled. Speaking of Till, that's the guy I wanted, it was either Till or Brunson. And I like challenges, man. I like guys that are expected to beat me. I'm like, all right, let's see what you got. Yeah. And that's the guy I wanted. I wanted Till, but, with the politics, people either protecting or he had his period. So they shoot me Chris Weidman, and, the UFC don't like it when you say no.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I wanted to fight him anyway, so let's get this shit going.